Stealth missions have always been my favourite type in any video game. Being able to play a mission in any way you want, having many different options, or even being able to have a completely unique playthrough of a particular mission always makes the game that bit more enjoyable. However, every single stealth mission in Call of Duty games are the exact same. You always stay stealthy to a certain point, and then the AI is programmed to detect you, or the story always leads you to being compromised. This next mission is a great example of this. Welcome back to Can You Beat Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare as a pacifist. Now, if you ever watched a previous episode, which you definitely should by the way, then you would recall that we have just finished the most excruciating mission in existence for a Call of Duty pacifist run. Luckily, that was one of the last of that kind, and so from now on, I was able to keep my cool and have a good experience for once. As always though, that will not last for too long. In this mission, we have finally found the possible location for Imran Zakhaev's base. However, we are aware that he possibly has some nuclear devices, and so it is critical to reach him and take down his operation. However, when parachuting into the location, we found out that our boy Griggs landed in a nearby village, occupied by enemy forces, and has now been taken hostage. That's a real shame, he was one of the good ones. Oh, right, we went to go save him, obviously. We head towards the enemy village alongside the main road. A car with a couple enemies comes passing by, however somehow detects us. This is what I was saying earlier, no matter what, the enemy is always programmed to detect you. We are clearly in amongst the trees, completely hidden, however they are still able to see us. What bullshit. But anyway, these enemies are quickly taken out by our team, giving them absolutely no chance to fight back. Just like how I had no chance of being actually good at aiming. Luckily, I'm being a pacifist, and so that's irrelevant. But still, damn am I jealous of people who can aim for shit. Cause fucking hell, I certainly can't. Anyway, we move further up the road, until we meet an enemy patrol. Luckily, my team seems to be on a roll today, and so can swiftly disperse of them, with little resistance. We finally move into one of the houses in the village, and observe Price giving a demonstration of how large his balls are. What an alpha male. We have a peek of the surrounding area, through the front door, but then straight away get spotted and mauled by a dog. Where the fuck did you come from? This area is more confusing than a maths exam. It gets me asking questions like, how am I supposed to be doing this stealthily? Why can't my team just kill everyone while still undetected? Why the hell does Muhammad need 87 apples? My small brain can't comprehend all of this information, and so I just said fuck it and let my team kill everyone. That's a nice chandelier. After all that had been sorted out, we infiltrated the remaining buildings and searched for Griggs. Luckily the first house we enter is where I seem to be holding him, and so Price and Gaz, breach the room and save him. However, I still take the glory, even though I never actually did anything from the start of the mission. At least it wasn't all bad. While he was tied up, Griggs was still able to improve his reading skills. We head back outside and further towards the base, where we find a communications tower, which, if taken out, will prevent communications. I know, bet you would never have guessed that. So we plant C4 on the legs of the tower, wait for everyone to be a safe distance away from it, and begin the fireworks. Nothing could be more satisfying. Before we move on, I check to make sure there are no casualties in the explosion. However, there was so much smoke that it was impossible to see anything. I'll just assume no one was down there. Capiche? We make our way towards one of the hostile bases, go through a completely open wall for some reason, who the hell left this here, and then come into contact with a load more enemies. This part was just as awful as so many others. However, at least I was able to stay in one area and just allow my team to take everyone out. This place seemed to have 2 or 3 main buildings, one of which at the far side, containing a large number of enemies. Luckily I found that my team were actually able to kill them, to affect how many there were left. They didn't seem to respawn, at least not very much anyway. We also had Gaz to back us up, but additionally a random squad mate, who, whenever they died, seemed to be replaced by another immediately after. So we had an infinite source of teammates, but also only a limited number of enemies. It was still difficult not to get shot and die though, as there wasn't much effective cover. As long as I kept moving further up, my team would also, and so be able to kill more and more enemies. My first attempt at this was extremely useful and informative, as I was able to get quite far, however still died and had to start again. The next few tries I attempted different tactics, one of which was just a sprint towards the enemy before they could initially spawn in, so my team would follow straight behind me and get to the end before there were even many enemies, but well, you can see how that went. The next few tries were basically the same as the first, just waiting for my team to kill some more enemies so I can move further up and let them follow and so on. As soon as we got to the main building that enemies were coming from, it was all peachy. as it was the best source of cover and my team could easily dispatch the last remaining enemies. However, this section was still not over. There were even more enemies in the same sort of fashion in the next few areas, and so I needed to come up with tactics to beat each area. Hiding was my main concern, and so finding a suitable piece of cover was critical. This area took the shortest time, however was still so goddamn annoying. There weren't many deaths here, but it sure as hell felt like I could die at any moment. My team ended up clearing a path for me towards some containers underneath a watchtower, and so I took my opportunity and ran. But then before I knew it, an enemy somehow just popped around the corner and I was one shot away from death. I couldn't go either way around the container, as the guy in the tower would kill me if I went backwards and that prick would if I went forwards, so I just had to beg he wouldn't come looking for me before I could heal. Then somehow he just disappeared, so that was lucky I guess. Sorry for messing with you, Mr. Potter. And so then I just ran towards the next area to get to the checkpoint. Oh my god, this part was the worst. I spent so long here, mainly just hiding, thinking that my team would finally do something, but of course they never did. There were 2 rocket launcher guys in the top of the far building, which would instantly shoot me and leave me one hit away from death if I came out into the open at any time. Oh, there were so many dogs, and fuck tons of enemies. Basically everything that could fuck me over. I died so many times here, and was at the point of giving up. I wasn't even sure who was causing me such massive problems. It was always a combination of multiple different enemies that had made me die, and so I was worried I would have to kill multiple of them to get past. However, as my final last ditch attempt, I ran through past the first few vehicles, hid just under the rocket launcher guys, and then sprinted towards the exit gate, where more trucks of enemy reinforcements came through. But just running as far away as I could, I was able to just instantly kill them and turn them into a pile of dead bodies. Of course, their deaths however having nothing to do with me. To the end of the mission, we meet with one of the American sniper teams camped just outside Zakhaev's main base. We start to discuss plans to infiltrate and stop Zakhaev. However, mid-conversation, we see nuclear missiles being launched into the atmosphere from his base. Luckily, however, we again did not cause anyone's death, and so that was a win for us. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. If you would like to support me in my goal of reaching 200 subscribers before the end of June, I would really appreciate that. Subscribing is free, and I promise you will not regret it. If you did enjoy today's video, be sure to give it a like and comment, because that would really help my channel grow. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for part 10 of this series, where we finally come to the end of this goddamn story. See if we can beat Zakhaev and stop those nuclear missiles from exploding. Can we do it, or you'll have to wait until next time. Thank you all again, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye for now.